It's an honor to be here today to deliver some remarks for this Talanoa session here today. We are all aware that the Pacific region is a unique and diverse place with rich cultural heritage and an abundance of natural resources and a strong connection to the ocean. Our Blue Pacific identity is central to our way of life, and we need to ensure that it is protected and sustained for future generations. The 2050 strategy, which was developed by the Pacific Islands Forum, is a visionary roadmap for our region's sustainable development. It sets out a comprehensive and integrated approach to address the complex challenges that we face, including climate change, ocean health, and economic development. One of the key areas of focus in the 2050 strategy is resource and economic development. To implement these strategies, we need to create an enabling environment for private sector investment and innovation. This means addressing barriers to trade and investment, streamlining regulations, and investing in infrastructure and human capital development. Excellencies and colleagues, Fiji has just concluded a National Economic Summit last week. The summit was a significant milestone for our nation as it has brought together a range of stakeholders to discuss our country's economic future. A primary intention behind hosting this summit was to create a platform for dialogue and collaboration between government, private sector, civil society, academia, and international partners. We aimed to identify the key challenges and opportunities facing our economy and find ways of addressing them together. We identified that there is a need to foster a culture of entrepreneurship and innovation that can drive economic growth and job creation. To do this, we must invest and build the capacity of our people, particularly the women and youths, to be innovative and entrepreneurial. We also need to take stock of our vulnerabilities head-on. The Pacific region is highly vulnerable to external shocks, including natural disasters, climate change, and economic downturns. Taking bold, decisive decisions at the national, regional, and global levels is vital to build resilient and diversified economies that can adapt to changing circumstances and harness the full potential of our resources. These actions can be implemented towards building resilience in our economies and societies to ensure that we have the capacity to adapt to changing circumstances. For example, investing in disaster preparedness and climate change adaptation. Excellencies and colleagues, this is a critical time for our region as we face unprecedented challenges through climate change, economic growth, and sustainable development. To overcome these challenges and achieve our aspirations, we must work together and harness the full potential of our resources, our people, and its networks. Fostering partnerships and collaboration among governments, private sector, and development partners will leverage our strengths and resources. Most importantly, we need to make the most of the resources available in the region. One of the key tools we have at our disposal is the Pacific Trade Invest Network. The PTI network should be instrumental in supporting the economic growth of our region through trade, investment facilitation, export promotion, and investment attraction. As members of the Pacific Islands Forum, it is incumbent upon us to also utilize the PTI network, and I'm glad to see some of you who are familiar here today. And we must ensure that we continue to engage with the PTI representatives, and particularly during this Talanoa session, to gain insight and a better understanding of how we can benefit from the network. I'm also heartened to see such a diverse group of stakeholders here today, including representatives from the private sector and governments and regional organizations. The diversity of expertise and experience is essential as we work together to develop our resources and build a stronger and more inclusive Pacific region. I encourage us all to use the opportunity today to engage in open and constructive dialogue, sharing ideas and experiences to shape a brighter future for our region. Together we can build a Pacific that is sustainable, prosperous, and equitable for all its people. Thank you for your attention, and it's a pleasure to be here today.